If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims. Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with this beautiful goddess, Angelique Medow. Look at her. Angelique is the founder and spokesperson of an inspirational multimedia company. I was going to say international. It could be international too. Okay. So that was coming up. Will You ignites inner courage to overcome personal limitations. She's overcome addictions to food, work, and soul-crushing relationships. She has authored inspirational books, card decks, courses, and speaks publicly and with individuals about personal growth, adventure, travel, and love. What a life!
Yes.
Life. Welcome, Angelique.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. You do so many wonderful things, my dear. And I saw your last meditation where you were talking about the hummingbird and the water and the trees. And it's just so important for us to keep in touch with nature. It has lots of beautiful grounding messages for us.
Oh, thank you for saying that. And it's so inspiring that you did your research and that you found my meditation.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Learning about me.
Yes, you have a lot of interesting things to say. And I really appreciate that you are comfortable to share with all of us the important, real, vital things that sometimes are uncomfortable to talk about.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I can get emotional sometimes. There are so many things to learn and to share, and you've done that on your journey as well. And you've been vulnerable and gone through so much. And now you've come out the other side to share your gifts with others. And, I was like looking at you and I was like, she looks like a younger Jamie Lee Curtis. Do people?
Wow. Oh, I'll take that compliment. Jamie Lee.
Okay, so good. I'm glad that's a compliment. But I mean, your face, obviously, you're glowing and younger than her, but your smile and your sparkle in your eyes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That means a lot.
No one's ever said that to you?
No. And she's quite the powerhouse, that lady. Wow. She's been there and done that to just about anything and everything.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, you were talking about nature, because I brought up the hummingbird during my meditation. What about you? Let's talk about you and what nature means to you. And you have a dragonfly logo. Is that correct?
I do. The dragonfly, like the butterfly, starts in different phases. And when it transforms, those phases are literally gone. So the caterpillar we're familiar with the butterfly, it is no longer when it becomes the butterfly. Same with the dragonfly. Not many people are familiar with the process that the dragonfly starts as a nymph. It comes out of the water and it looks totally different than it does when it's the beautiful flying creature that we're all familiar with. So in this transformation of our soul, knowing that we're going through a process and knowing that nature is here to support us through that has been essential for me to know that I am not alone.
Oh, that's beautiful. And maybe that transformation can give you wings to fly.
The transformation definitely allows us to soar above what would be just the challenges of what some people call 3D life. Either it's all about the basics or there's more to it. Either life has meaning or it has none. And I choose to see the meaning in life.
Beautiful. Well, it's so interesting because I love dragonflies also. And it could be because they represent that transformation, that that change that needs to happen. And obviously, like the butterfly, there's so much that the dragonfly has to go through. And they're also very ancient creatures with wisdom. Like, and it's like one time I was face to face with a dragonfly and I could see all the details of its eyes, and I just felt the wisdom and the intelligence. Yeah.
Absolutely. The dragonfly, besides the fact that it can also fly at almost 60 miles an hour.
Oh, wow. I did not
and,
know
and
that.
it can see 360. That's actually what the helicopter was designed after.
Oh, I
Mhm.
can see that. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm learning so much. So then you have this other metaphor of the dragon of you and your company, like seeing the C360
hmm
rising above, right?
Right, right. Yes, but we need to remember that the dragonfly just doesn't happen overnight. And the patience of allowing ourselves to go through all the stages, recognizing what our addictions are and why they're there, recognizing that we need to release them, accepting the soul issues that we need to break free of and grow into the next phase of the nymph, and then allow that to happen. It's just a process. We can't expect this to happen overnight. And as I hold it close in my heart, nature doesn't do anything quickly, but it accomplishes everything. So we need to have that
Yes.
patience for ourselves through this process, because other people may not.
Yeah, like your family and friends, they may not understand that how hard it could be, or maybe the
Mhm.
rewards of the journey.
Right. They might not be on a soul journey. They might just have a life where they're focusing on the to-do list. And that's okay. Everybody's on their own journey, but we need to honor our own. And so if our journey, like mine, involves soul growth, then nature is the way that I'm able to see a reflection of how to do that growth on the outside of me, because it can feel very lonely to take that soul journey by yourself. My family did not choose to take a soul journey. My ex-husband or the men that I have been involved with, they did not choose to take the soul journey. So for me to choose to
I'm
take
right
that
there with
journey,
you, sister. Sorry, I had to say that.
we need each other. We need the soul support from our sisters and nature that is with us all the time. Thank God.
Yes, amazing. So when did you realize that nature is a mirror to you, or that could support you in your journey? And what are some of the messages that you've received?
Fortunately, very young, because without a
Oh,
lot of connection to my family, and because my family has roots in farming, I spent a lot
oh,
of time outdoors. We
oh,
had my grandmother lived on a farm, and we went up there to work on weekends, and then I came back to the suburbs to go to school, and then had a job as well.
oh,
So with
wonderful.
that,
What did they have on
uh,
the farm?
they had Limousin cattle.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a type of beef cattle. And then they also grew crops to feed the cattle, and they sold hay. They had milk cows before that. But there is a lot of work to be done. But in the moments where we had to ride tractors and things like that, it gave me a chance to really observe nature. And I through Native American studies, I learned that nature could communicate with me.
Mm.
And that was where it led me into the deeper senses of intuition, because the guidance that came to me gave me the answers I needed in everyday life. It was a source of safety, security, love, attention, affection, care, reciprocity. It is, to me, the greatest source of love that comes from our Creator. They are intertwined. They are one for me. The earth is just it's a body the same way that we are, that has been infused with the Creator's life force. And I love and honor and respect her, and am so honored that she chooses to communicate with me to guide me through life and give me beautiful things like the hummingbird that you saw. The hummingbirds come and speak with me, and lots of other gorgeous creatures like the dragonfly.
Amazing. So where was this, where you grew up?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
What
Wonderful.
about you?
I grew up in Alaska, and
Alaska.
I live in Colorado now. So yeah. Yeah. And where do you live now?
I live in Tennessee.
Okay. And what brought you
Mhm.
there?
It was a job. A job brought me here, but
Okay.
what really made me decide to move here, though, was not because it was Tennessee. It was because I went and took a hike in the Smoky Mountains. And if you haven't been, I invite you to come and join some of our soul sisters. We have another hike coming up September 8th. You can go to my website. I'd be happy to host you and come on down and take a beautiful hike up to Cades Cove. Mhm.
Oh, wonderful. You can name your website if people want to
Oh,
check it out. Go
Will
ahead.
You Grow? WillYouGrow.com. WILLYOUGROW.com.
You're
Yes, come
so
join us
sweet. Just
on
spell it
tour.
out. Yeah. Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. I've never been to the Smoky Mountains. I've been to the airport in Tennessee. Of course, that doesn't compare, but that's amazing. Wow.
Yes.
So what was the job that you came out for?
Oh, regular corporate America. I was doing marketing.
Oh,
I was the
marketing.
head of the marketing department. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Well, I bet that helps you in your business today, right?
It
Your
does.
background in marketing. That's
It does. Yes.
wonderful.
What brought you to Colorado?
Oh my God, you're so interested in me. I'm not used to an
Yeah.
interview, and you're like interviewing me as much as I'm interviewing you. You're so sweet. It just felt like the right move with my family. So my husband and two kids wanted to change. We were living in Los Angeles, and I was
Mm.
just drawn to the nature, to the mountains. I do miss the beach. Of course, there's all aspects of Mother Nature that I need in my life. So I have to travel. I have to visit other
Mhm.
places to feed my soul. And one of them is the
Mhm.
ocean. But the
Mm.
lake comes pretty close. So yeah. So that's why we moved here, to just slow down our lives and have our kids be able to play on the street. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful vision. And
Yes.
congratulations for making that important choice for you and your family.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it does feel right. It does feel right. And I do want to go into your journey a little bit.
Mhm.
Can you talk about some of your books? I mean, whatever books you would like to talk about. And of course, everyone can go to her website and learn more. But what are you feeling right now? Do you want to share?
Oh, I thank you. I appreciate that. I get the strong sense that so many of us are going through things right now that having a book and a practice, something that we can go to every day, that thing can provide us a sense of stability and security in a world that is fluctuating so much. Not just the fluctuations of our politics or our weather, but the fluctuations that are happening within our own soul. So I've created a practice using my books. The books that you see back here are all based on the affirmations journal, which is right here, and
Okay.
just affirmations. They both contain the same affirmations. There are 72 affirmations, and they're all related in nature. So they help us to be able to see ourself and our soul process through nature. So it teaches us how to write about that process, how to recognize, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? And what do I need right now? How can I give it to myself? It's a full practice in self-empowerment.
Oh, wow. I am going to check out your cards. I'm really interested in what you're offering and those affirmations.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah. It's a whole process. And how can that help us love ourselves more through the journey?
Well, have you ever, if you think back, each of us have fallen in love at some point, right? Yeah. Well, when we are first getting to know that person, we want to learn, right? We want to
Yeah.
learn, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? What do they need? But that's falling in love with someone else. Not many of us know that about ourselves. So you ask, how is this empowerment? How are we growing? How are we loving ourselves? If we don't know what we think, and we don't know how we feel, and we don't know what we need, how can we possibly love ourselves well?
Mm, I see. Yeah. So going deeper
So
into that inquiry, like we're dating ourselves, like
right.
going deep into that, like we're curious and really what does our soul need? That's amazing. I like that
Yes.
perspective.
Yes. Self-inquiry is self-love.
Mm,
If we can't ask ourselves questions, how can we ever learn?
right, right. And then maybe your soul will answer, or maybe the divine, like there could be multiple answers that you get, correct?
Yes. The process is discovery. So we can't expect to have all the answers at once, and we won't even need to expect complete clarity, because the reality is we have all been conditioned. We've been raised by people, and the voices of those people will be in our heads until we recognize that that's what's happening, and we tell them to get out.
I,
So we,
I, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So we go through a process. I had a joke with my ex-husband sometimes when he would bring up something or say something that was exactly the thing he hated to hear from his father. And I'd say, "What do you mean, Bob?" His name was Lynn. But Bob was his father. So
Yeah.
sometimes when we're not aware of how we think and what we feel, we just speak things that came from our mom, our dad, our aunt, our uncle, our grandma, our grandpa, and we're unaware. So this self-inquiry process helps to know, what do we really think and feel here, here?
Mm.
Are we receiving divine guidance? And how do we tell the difference? And just by self-inquiry, we can help to unfold that process and become clearer within ourselves. So we have the 2 different affirmations books, and we have an affirmation card deck, and we have 11 styles of journals for a person to write their thoughts and feelings. And 10% of those profits go to support clean water, clean air, clean oceans, scholarships, and our YouTube channel.
Oh, wonderful. I am having this moment where I like want to hug you, and I and I also have this other feeling where I want to take your hands, I want to spin around like little girls
Yay!
and then fall down on the grass.
That's awesome. What a
Okay.
great feeling.
Yeah. So I don't know. You're just bringing that childlike wonder back to me with your essence and everything you're offering humanity and the
Thank
world.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
I'd love to. May I give you a gift of pulling a card for you?
Okay. So how does this work? Is this like through
Sure.
your intuition? And you work with the cards? Like, can you explain a little bit for our
Sure.
audience what you're doing?
Sure. So
Oh, yeah,
I'll
I
take
get a
this deck
card.
that's right here, okay? And with these cards, you can use them anytime, or you can create a practice like I do and just pull a card in the morning. Or if I have a question about life in general, I might just say, what do I need to know right now? And then you take out the cards. Now, I have a whole class on how to use the cards, but I'll
Yeah.
take
So we
out some
can't go
first
into
off,
all the details,
all
but you
that.
can
But
take her
we're just gonna,
class
right.
if you want that.
Yes, I would love that. That'd be great. I'm going to take the cards that are just for our regular daily information, and I will put the question into the card of, what does Carissa need to know right now?
Oh my God, you're going to make me cry.
What does Carissa need to know right now? And then we're going to shuffle the cards, and you're going to tell me when to stop. and then we'll pick the
Oh,
card at the top.
okay,
So
now.
what does the person need to know right
Sorry, I think I missed it. Now.
now? We have two because we have one on my thumb and we have one right here.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to find out which one it, or both of them, that was the ones that you need. So I'll show you the first one.
Okay.
Now you look at the card.
Okay. Oh, wait, I want to like have a better look at it. Okay.
Yeah, feel the feelings now that you're experiencing in your body when you look at this card. Just the feelings. What feelings are you experiencing?
Well, just the feeling, so not words. I'm feeling an openness, a lightness. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, I'm going to flip the card over and it has words on it.
Oh, okay.
And the words go with the feelings that you just experienced.
Oh, okay.
Can you read it?
Yes.
Read it out loud for us.
I don't have to do what I used to do. I hope that message resonates with some of our audience as well, because sometimes, now correct me if I'm wrong, Angelique, when you are hearing some cards that are pulled for another person, that message can also be for you. What do you think?
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Because you're hearing it. So you're in alignment with that frequency and that vibration. And,
Yes.
and it's time for you to get that message as well. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So that's great. Now I'm going to show you the second one because it goes with that.
Okay.
The second, because we did a split there. All right. Now,
Okay.
what are the feelings that you have with this card?
Well, it's interesting because my body is vibrating with this card actually, and so it's shaking and going in kind of like a circular motion. So I guess a warmth in my pelvic region and coming
Awesome.
up.
That's perfect because it's like sacral heart,
Oh,
because
it
this is a water creature right here.
Yes.
Yes. And the words
That's a jellyfish, right?
yes, and the words that go along with this for you are,
we are all wondrous beings. Oh my God. I love that. So inspiring.
so yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. And what's happening for you on a soul and physical level is when you combine the feelings from the one side of the card
Okay.
with the words, you're creating heart-mind resonance.
Oh.
And when you create heart-mind resonance, you are vibrating at the same level as the center of the earth, which makes you feel like you're at home.
Wow.
Like you belong.
Wow. And isn't that what everybody wants? Isn't that like all boiling down to that we belong? And all of you that are listening now do belong. You matter. And you're all wondrous beings, just like the card said.
Yes.
All
And
with unique gifts.
Mhm.
Right, go
And you
ahead.
don't have to do what you used to do.
You don't have to do what you used to do. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, that was so generous of you. I loved getting that reading. It was so fun and gorgeous pictures. Now tell me about those pictures. Do you source them somewhere?
Yes, I selected the photographs that would create the feeling in the heart mind that go along with the words. So they all open us up on some level to help us to integrate ourselves.
Do you have one-on-one clients?
I do. I do mentoring, so coaching both in person at my home office as well as live by Zoom. And I do public speaking both on my YouTube channel as well as for small groups, private groups, and corporations.
And what about your adventure travel? How does that fit in? Do you plan trips for people?
I do. Thank you for asking. It's so much fun. As a matter of fact, I just got back from Costa Rica 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, did you do a
Yes.
retreat there or what'd you do?
Actually, I was exploring for myself because every place that I take people on travel, I always vet it first so
Oh,
that I
got
know
it.
that it's excellent, it's good quality, and that the healers there are the real deal. So this was a phenomenal 5 diamonds location where they have a farm where they raise all their food. This is, you have your own private concierge who takes you places, and real healers from Costa Rica. And one of them, it's a group, a man and wife. They're not
Mm.
physically married, but they're married in their hearts. This couple, Yamuna and Priscilla, did what I'm going to call a final chapter close on a generational trauma in my family for me while I was there.
They
And
healed you. Did you ask for this healing? Like,
I
or did
did.
they see?
I
Okay.
did. And he also, the man, meditated before I arrived and told me what I needed to know. And then we did the ceremony. And I've
I'm
done
feeling
energetic
that
healings for
frequency.
years. I mean, 30 years.
Oh, wow. But you're also a
Mhm.
healer too, you have that.
We we all are in our own way,
We
aren't we?
all are, but I just mean that you are of a higher level to help people get to that level. Of course, yes, we are all healers, but sometimes healers can activate that power even more and uncover the layers, which I feel like they did for you.
Yes. So I would love to have people join me. Check out my website again,
Oh,
willyougrow.com. There's a tour section. So you
okay.
can see all the different places that we're going. We've got, like I said, that hike up to the Smokies. It's hike and dinner,
Yeah.
and we do a release ceremony up there. And then we're also going to South Carolina to Hunting Island, where the
Oh,
beautiful beach
wow.
there. If you haven't been, we need to go. And then we've got a Costa Rica trip planned back to the place that I went before. It's Hacienda Alta Gracia. And we'll be
Okay.
doing that next year in June. So would love
Oh,
to have you all
wonderful.
join me for that or my RV tour in 2025.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. We'll have to
Mhm,
follow you and see what you're up to. So let's talk about your healing that you had there in Costa Rica. So
mhm,
this healer there in Costa Rica is like incredible. I mean,
mhm,
it's like nature on steroids. It really is. It reminds me
mhm.
of the Amazon, to be honest. Uh,
Yes.
but I've never been to the Amazon, but like what it would be like. So how was this healing for you, and how did they do the healing?
Well, part of the healing, you're right on it when you talk about nature, because it's in the middle of the mountains, the Talamancan Mountains, and it's adjunct to a national park.
Oh,
So it is like pin drop quiet with the exception of the sounds of the animals at night.
wow.
Yes. And when I for the first thing I did for my healing was I went into their beautiful facility, which is like it's called the Well House, and it's a huge place, all white, 12-foot ceilings, a pool that's like Olympic sized with enormous altars that have different types of crystals that are heated like flat so that you can lay on them. I took and got this clay that was mixed with different herbs, and I covered my body and I laid on the crystals to heat until it dried, to detox. And then I cleaned all of that off and took a swim in the cool pool, and I showered off and went out in my robe to the outside. And it all begins outdoors. So you can imagine there are these huge mountains surrounding you, and a vulture who was one of the animal spirits who has worked with me to heal me for 20 years comes and swoops down right next to us. And Yamuna says, "The vultures are here for you." And I said, "I know." And it was wonderful because when you know someone who has a connection with nature like that, you just know that they get what's happening just as well as you do. And they smudged me. They used the conch, so the sound of this billowing seashell, and worked that through my heart area. And then we went inside. And I should also say that when I was a little earlier, when I was on the crystals, a dragonfly came in and it went to try to go up to the window to get out. It couldn't get out. And I was like, okay, this is a huge sign. And I went up to it and it let me pick it up by the tail and take it outside. So that was before I got started. Then when I walked into the healing room, a dragonfly is in the healing room, inside of the well house. And
not the same one. The same one.
Different one.
Oh, a different one.
It was one of the small versions. It's like the damselfly.
Yeah, I know the small ones. Yeah. Oh God.
And Yamuna said that it had been in there for about 40 minutes. So that had been about the same time as that other one was flying for me. That dragonfly stayed on the wall in the exact same spot through the entire healing. He told me about my grandparents. He had messages, my grandmother, my grandfather on both sides.
Wow.
Some of the abuse and the trauma and the things that had happened. No one else could know these things.
And that happened like in your lineage, but not to you.
Both.
Oh, and to you. Okay.
Yes. And he said that I was the first of the entire lineage to do the soul work. And that was certainly the example of everything I've experienced. But he also had a very powerful message, which involves a swear word that I won't say completely. But he said, I meditated, and the message that I have for you to tell your parents is, I love you, I miss you, and F you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we just worked from there. Releasing. It was a 2-hour experience. I highly recommend it. Come along with me, and
Go to
you
her
can close the chapter on, or wherever you are in your journey.
Yeah. And did he explain that how powerful it was for you to do this healing work, that you were healing all the past generations?
He did. And thank you. I'm glad that you brought that up, because most people don't realize that. And some folks that are, Christian background can recognize that there's a saying that goes something like, the sins of the father are carried down 5 and 6 generations. Mm-hmm. Basically, that's the reality of the soul journey, that whatever our parents didn't work out before we were conceived, that's on us. They have the issue, but so do we. And so we have to decide whether or not we're going to heal that, or if we're going to end up just like them in that way.
Are you in relationship with your family?
No, I'm in total cutoff as of a couple of months ago. So,
oh my God. And was that healing part of that?
Well, when there's just trauma caused in the conversations, then one gets to a point. One gets to a point where I say, I don't want the trauma for myself, but I also have compassion that if honesty is painful for them, then my conversations are painful for them. And if their conversations about the weather are painful for me, if it's just going to be about the weather and ignoring everything that's actually happening, then it's just a painful interaction. So why go back to that to try to fix something that they don't want to fix, that to them there's nothing wrong with talking about the weather. And so I love and respect them enough to say, let's not talk.
That's incredible and beautiful and so brave. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for just being real and authentic. And that choice that you made is so powerful. And so many people think that because they're family, you need to put on a face or be nice because they raised you or whatever it might be. Don't you think?
Unfortunately, people use the word family as an excuse to tolerate abuse.
That's right.
And I am to the point where I need to take complete responsibility for my soul to blossom. And if there's any relationship which does not support my soul blossoming, it is my responsibility to care for it. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be intentionally hurtful or harmful to someone
Right.
else, but I'm going to step away. If they attack me, I will defend myself.
Yeah. But
That's
it's,
my job.
yeah, but that's like boundaries. You're just creating boundaries that you love yourself and your journey that much, that deeply to set those
Mhm.
incredible boundaries. Yeah. And you're so grounded and confident in your truth. It's amazing. I I did want to go into your journey a little bit about in the past, did you ever have any addictions of
Mhm.
food or drink? And can you share about that, being in it and coming out of that, what it took for you?
Sure. Very young, I started by binge eating.
Oh, I
And
see.
so, I didn't know what codependency was back then. I was codependent too, but I just,
To
we learn
food.
as we go. No, codependent in my relationships with my parents.
Oh, with your parents. Yeah.
Yes. My dad was a workaholic, gone all the time. My mom was kind of in her own way. She was enabling to his narcissism, but she had some mental issues. So she spent time in bed and she was depressed.
Mm.
So I had to care for her. It was caretaking,
Oh, I see. So that's the
more than,
unhealthy relationship.
yeah,
Yeah, got it.
yeah, yeah. So it was triangulation, if you're familiar with family systems, because their
Mhm.
communication wasn't good. So I was the one who was trying to keep it together.
I
Um,
see. And did you
but
have
in the middle,
siblings
I
too?
did. I had one younger brother that I took care
Younger
of.
brother. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So in that, I didn't really find that there was someone who could notice what I needed. So because I was trying to take care of everybody else's needs. And
Yeah,
so what I did was at night I would eat after I did all the chores and everybody was in bed.
I see.
And my go-to was Entenmann's Crullers, which is a type of donut. If anybody knows what that is, it comes in a
Colors.
white paper box with the cellophane on
Oh,
the top.
yeah. Now, are those the like a little bit harder, like the firmer donuts with the
Yes,
ridges? Oh, yeah, I
yes,
totally know those.
yes,
And they're like a
yes.
little glaze around.
Glaze, yeah, they're about that big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got into my box at night, and that's the hard thing, was making sure they don't crunch in the middle of the night, like the cellophane's not making any noise. But to get that box open and get into the donuts, and I tell you, I'd get started and I wouldn't even know what happened until the bottom of the box, and I'm trying to dig
Really?
out the little, crumbs in the corner. And when I finished the box, I wanted more.
Yeah.
I was like, I want more donuts. And it was at that moment that I had the choice. Am I going to try to escape the house, like crawl out the window and go to a gas station to get donuts? Or what? What am I going to do? And I decided I was going to ask myself a question at that moment.
Okay.
I began the self inquiry of self love. I asked myself, am I hungry?
Oh, wow. That's a powerful, simple question.
And the answer was no. As a matter of fact, I was really sick.
Yeah. You didn't want to
So,
put anything more in.
so then I asked, well, if I'm not hungry, what do I really want? Because it's not donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat with that question a little while, my answer was I really wanted love.
Mm.
But the trouble is, it was a good, exciting, light bulb moment. I wanted love, but it was also a sad moment because I couldn't get it from family. There wasn't anybody who could show me the kind of love or care or sweetness, affection that I was getting temporarily from donuts. So it was in that moment I knew, since what I really want is love, donuts isn't going to cut it. But now I have to learn to love myself because nobody else knows how. So what feels like love to me? And that's where I started my journaling process to learn about what feels like love. Well, petting the cats, or taking a walk, or taking a bath, or having a conversation, or getting a hug from a friend when I'm with a friend.
Yeah. And
I
how
started
old
my
were
own
you?
practice young. I don't remember
You don't
the
remember what
exact
age,
age,
but like
yeah.
before 18.
Oh yeah, couldn't even drive yet at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had to yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
But I think that
Wow.
those of us who didn't have the resources, whether it's money or
Uh-huh.
people around us who could help us, we became very resourceful with
Mm-hmm.
our own mind, because we needed to try to find a way to fix things or make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do that
Yeah.
as an adult too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So then you were able to let go of that addiction with the inquiry of the
Yes,
food.
I did. And any of us can. My little
Okay.
simple 5-minute tip that we can use is
Oh,
what I
sure.
used then, which is stop eating or whatever we're doing. Stop,
Uh-huh.
drop, and ask. Instead of stop, drop, and roll like the fireman's thing,
Yeah.
stop, drop all of our energy from here, which is, oh my gosh, I need that thing. I need that thing. I need that thing. Stop, drop the energy into our heart and ask, what do I really want?
Mm.
Because it's not that thing. It's never the sex, the drugs, the gambling, the alcohol. It's not that thing. That's just a substitute for what we really want.
So if you don't ask that inquiry, do you feel like that food and alcohol can control your life?
Yes, and because I'm very careful with the words that I use, I would never say that the substance controls my life. I would say my resistance to inquiry
Got it.
is controlling my life. My
Mhm.
refusal to look within is controlling my life, because that's still mine and under my control. I'm never going to put the control of what happens here outside of me. We might have a world, tragedy or some sort of crisis, but how I handle it is on me. So no
Mm.
matter how much stress is happening out here, that's not an excuse for me to go eat or an excuse for me to have a harmful relationship. How I handle those things is here.
Mm. Did you feel that you got into harmful relationships because of your home life? Were you looking for love in all the wrong places?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I would say that I think all of us, but I know for sure I was blinded by what normal was. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that growing up, that what I saw in front of me, a mom and a dad, that those were how people behave. So when I got in relationships, I was involved with men who were completely out of a touch with their emotions, who had
Mm.
done no soul work, who were looking to fill their void with, whether it was addictions of any sort, whether like my dad, it was work or
Yeah.
lying, or alcohol or women. They were substituting these pleasures, these simple, short-term pleasures, for real love or real knowing of who they are or who I was. So I got into, a marriage, and I was in that marriage for 8 years. I was with him for 15 years. And the few relationships that I had after that as well were all the same. It was like the same problems, different face, until I worked through the issues and could say, nope, not necessarily, you can call them boundaries, but it's more like, no, this is who I am, and I refuse to be anything other than that. I'm going to be this person. And if that's not okay with you, then I'm going to leave. And I had done that with those relationships, and then had to close the door by also doing that with the instigation of all that problem, which is parents.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I mean, that's just so interesting and introspective, and that you were able to realize that it was time for you to go. Do you feel like, I mean, personally, I feel like maybe you helped them a little bit by just being in their lives for however long that you were.
We can all pray that we help each other in each other's lives, no matter how long we're there.
Yeah.
I mean, right? We can see something beautiful in anything, or we can see horrible things too.
That's true. Yeah. Well, do you have any success stories from your clients about, oh, good. You want to share a little bit?
Sure. Some of my favorite stories are the ones where there are women who have raised beautiful children and in that process lost themselves. And they are ready to rediscover who they are as their husbands maybe retire, or they're ready to have a life where their children are on their own. And so I get to walk beside them to discover who they are, what they want, and then take action steps to be that soul that they've always wanted to be. And I love watching that. And there are wonderful testimonial videos on my website that a person can check out. One of my favorites is Christina, and you can look up her story. And her children have become so inspired by the different things she's done to take care of herself. She's such a great example for her family.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So just for those who don't go to the website, what was the gist of her success?
Well, she was, you could say that even though she was very successful in her family life to raise 2 children and be in a loving marriage, she had not had the perfect opportunity or taken the perfect opportunity to address the childhood issues that caused her to be a codependent. So she finally got to address that. And now she makes choices for herself, including just joyful choices. She doesn't make an excuse like I can't go to this place because so-and-so needs this or so-and-so needs that. She puts her needs first. That doesn't mean she doesn't care about other people, but she's also not apologizing or making excuses for suffering either. So that she addressed her childhood issues. We talked about how her mom was affecting her, even though her mom had passed, how her old stories were causing her to repeat them. And she saw her husband grow with her. Her husband didn't even have to come to the mentoring sessions, but as she changed, it required the relationship to change.
Oh, yeah.
And although she was afraid that he wouldn't step up, he did.
Wow. That is so impressive.
It is.
And that she had the courage and the strength to do that. I found that in my own life when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2020, that I realized that I had to put myself first from then on. So I now in the morning, even if like my kids seem like they need me, they're a little bit older, the 8 and 11, I will go work out because that is what I need. And I'll come back happy, not resentful, energized, ready for my day. And so, yes, exactly. Your client, I had that experience on my own journey of life.
Beautiful. Good for you.
Thanks. Thank you. Well, would you like to share some morning practices to help reduce stress and create more
Oh,
confidence?
sure. That would be wonderful that everyone can always get out on the best side of the bed, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll tell you what I do. When I just am about to wake up, or I should say that I've also, when I set my alarm, I set it to something beautiful and wonderful. So for me, that's wind chimes.
Mm.
It's slow moving wind chimes in a very soft level, and it's followed by a mantra, a
Oh,
sung mantra. So when I'm waking up, I'm already getting the feeling of, okay, openness, brightness, easiness, movement of the wind.
mm.
And I lay in that bed with my eyes closed, and I feel all the feelings of gratitude for, oh my gosh, I am so glad that I had some rest. I am so glad for the peace of this day. I'm so glad for this beautiful soft bed and these nice soft white sheets. I'm so glad for this lovely smell of the wind coming in through the window. Every single sensation, which requires us to bring in all of our senses. Bring your senses in the theatrics of beauty and gratitude. And take some big, deep breaths. Wiggle the toes. Start moving the body around a bit. Feel those nice, soft, squishy sheets. Stretch.
I'm like, I've started doing it.
Yes. Give yourself a hug if you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
Give someone that you love a hug if you're in bed with someone else. Say good morning, even if it's just to you. Say it in the mirror. And then I get up, stand up straight, and I look outside because that's my favorite, most loving being is my outdoors. So I might go walk out on my deck, or I might stand in my room with my great big window, and I hold my hands together like this in prayer pose right over the heart,
Mm-hmm.
which helps combine the masculine and feminine principle
Oh,
within us. So if we can stand here for 12 minutes while we look upon something that we love deeply and feel those feelings in our heart and just
mm.
stand in gratitude, our body shifts and our body becomes awake and centered and working together with our masculine and feminine principles. And
Mm.
that's the beginning of my morning practice.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. So how long does
Mhm.
that take? Is it 5
About
minutes?
15
15
minutes,
minutes.
15,
Okay. That
15
sounds
minutes because
good.
yep. And then I'll exercise, and then I take a little time to have my breakfast. And while I'm doing that, I do a card and I write a little in my journal about thoughts and feelings and move
And then you're
forward to
ready.
my day.
Oh,
Mhm.
beautiful. So final question, what is Zen success to you?
Zen success. I'm going to have to let that sit in my heart to answer that question. I'm not sure that I can answer that question today. What about you? You tell me, what do you think is Zen success?
Well, I mean, I could say what the tagline is, moving from force to flow, but it's being effortless in life and enjoy.
Mm, well,
The
what can be more
definition is,
beautiful?
oh, thank you. The definition, changes if I'm asked a different day. Just in this moment, that's what came to me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, that Wu Wei principle, not forcing and allowing to flow, means so many things, at depending, like you say, on different times.
Mm-hmm.
to be able to see when things need to flow and ride that, and also allow ourselves to act with it, is really what life's about.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's been such a pleasure getting to know you, getting a card reading, hearing about your books and programs and travel. I'll put your website and how to buy your programs and books in the show notes. So thanks for being on my show today, Angelique. My soul.
Thank you so much. I would love to be out in the grass with you now and spin around. Let's go.
We're going to spin around together. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too. Until next time.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Zen Success is also available on the radio in select markets through amfm247.com. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to zensuccessshow.com to help you on your Zen success journey, and join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.